everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Smart Money Sundays. I apologize we didn't do an episode last weekend. I was focused on getting together the wealth accumulation series for you guys, and if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend taking a look at the first episode. Just kind of a brief introduction and breakdown before we get into some complex topics. All right, so hope you enjoyed that if you watched it. Now I want to get into the markets this week, and starting off, I kind of want to highlight the trade of last week on CAD Swissy. Now this one was an absolutely beautiful trade, and we sent it out to our VIP community at a little bit of a lower price down in here. Okay, but I managed to catch an entry right up at the top of this wick here for a beautiful 1 to 16 RR. All right, and so this one was a simple mitigation training. We teach it in our course. Highly recommend the course. It breaks down our strategies step by step, and so you can take trades like this simple one following the mitigation training right off of our 15-minute up close candle. Okay, so this was a gorgeous trade, textbook, exactly what we teach. And remember, 1 to 16 is basically all you need for 1 month, guys. So again, just another example of waiting for the layup setups to present themselves like this one. Literally, I should be and could be done for the month if I didn't, keep up with sending analysis out to the group. I would be done for the month doing analysis, but I thoroughly enjoy sending trades out and helping you guys out with analysis. So just an example of a beautiful trade that was sent out in the VIP group. And if you've taken our courses, this is one that you can see right off the bat is a textbook aerial effects setup. Okay, so super happy about that one. Just wanted to highlight that. And obviously this one kind of correlates with CADJ, which also offered a beautiful opportunity last week, guys. Goes without saying, you can just see it right here on the screen. Okay, nice 1 to 15. Okay, so those were the setups of last week, the most beautiful in my opinion. And of course, the dollar was very choppy. Okay, I'm not particularly enjoying the dollar at the moment, and that's okay. That's why I traded CAD Chef last week. Even though you all know my favorite pair is EU and GU and AU. If there's not setups there, then I'll look at other markets, because if there's not setups on the dollar, there's likely setups on some other markets. Okay, so again, EU, and we're going to start breaking a few things down for the week ahead. EU, I'm not changing my bias. Again, I want to see lower prices on EU. I want to ultimately see us fill in this old gap where I expect sensitivity, but ultimately come down into 1.1 that I've been talking about for weeks and refill this wick here. Okay, 1.1 into, honestly, 1.09 is my downside target on EU before possibly looking at dollar death again for another expansionary move. Let's go take out the liquidity resting above this high. Okay, so with that in mind, we clearly had our liquidity run here. Didn't quite get up into the level that I wanted us to, if you recall from 2 weeks ago. That's okay. We did enough. We took out the relative equal highs here. And so I firmly believe that this high here is our protected high. That price should not run past this level. Okay, and so we're really kind of working within this range here. And VIP, I did send out the fact that I was looking at sells from this supply, this doji candle, and so we're in good profit here. Now, that doesn't mean I don't potentially expect kind of an A, B, C retracement. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Okay, and then the fall. But honestly, just given the fact that we did respect this supply, this doji candle here, and the fact that we're back below that 4-hour 50. Honestly, and the daily 50, mind you, I honestly just expect this thing to kind of open up and die. Okay, that's just my opinion. I just want to see this thing melt. Okay, especially though, guys, if we get below this low here, then that should be good. Okay, then we should kind of be in, oops, sorry about that. We should probably be in free fall. Okay, if we get below this low here. All right, so really watch this. Let's see how we react kind of around this level here. Okay, if we get an accumulation London session, then we could be looking at another retracement leg. Okay, we can then, let me delete this. We can then kind of reverse fib it. Okay, we can look at that negative 27, and then we can slap a bearish fib. Okay, and we can be working from that negative 27 into that 78.6 as our bearish POI. Okay, for that move back down. Okay, so again, I prefer this thing to kind of just open up, trickle up a little bit and die. That would be preferred. But again, we can't rule that out, or rule out kind of one more leg to the upside until we clear this low here. Okay, so really just a waiting game sitting on my hands, just a wait and see. But I'm in sells already, and really just want this thing to go ahead and melt. There's not much stopping it here. Once we get below this level here, it's not much to stop it. Okay. All right. So again, you know, this, I don't expect us to trade above this high. Okay. So if we do get up here, that's great. You know, we get premium, catch more pips. All right. GU, and this one's really kind of messy, guys. Again, my bias has not changed. Downside objective, these lows here. Okay. This is going to be the draw. Okay. It's just a matter of when. And, you know, we had a previous week's high that was run out with last week, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, previous week's high. Okay. Trading into this supply, which ran out, trendline liquidity. Okay. So that's why I was expecting this high to be protected. Okay. So that's why I took a sell here. We are in profit, VIP. Okay. But again, you know, it's pretty steep retracement. Okay. Relative equal highs now, which I don't prefer, but we did maintain this high. Okay. So again, I would like to see this thing kind of just melt. I really would. But there is then the possibility if, you know, let's say EU makes another run up, then in that case, I would expect this to be the draw and for price to trade higher, potentially up into kind of our 12-hour candle here as the next point of interest. Okay. But ultimately, again, we're in a downtrend, higher time frame. I want to see these lows taken out. Okay, so I'm going to keep looking for opportunities to sell cable. All right, but this is just another one with that close on Friday, maintaining previous week's high that I would just expect to melt upon market open. But you never know. All right, so last one. Actually, I'll do two more. AUD USD. All right. Now, following the mitigation train, we have that inefficiency, that doji that ran liquidity. Price traded up into that to the T. Okay, it leaves us a new supply. Okay, we can hop down. Now, this 4-hour doji has not been necessarily accounted for. You can see this wick did not trade into the low. Okay, so I do have a sell limit order placed here. Okay, but my stop loss, I'm looking for a swing, so I'm okay with this stop loss being above this high here. All right, and I have my entry kind of at this inefficiency here. Okay, so, you know, again, this thing could just open up and melt like the others, but if we can get one more run up, I would not be opposed personally to taking a position here off this candle. Okay, with a stop above what I believe to be the protected high. All right. Again, just kind of following suit with what we're looking at on the dollar. And this thing is most definitely still within a downtrend on the daily time frame. Okay. So again, a lot of this is just kind of be waiting and sitting on our hands, at least to see what kind of transpires during the London session Monday morning. Okay, and then we can make a judgment come New York. Okay, so that is AU, and I guess the final one I kind of want to touch on is Euro GBP. Now this one might have tricked a lot of people with this BOS. Could classify as a BOS, look for the retracement for a higher low. Okay, this ended up being what I call the fake BOS. We come down, we engineer more liquidity. Okay, bullish run without taking out the prior low. Okay, people start buying here, stops below the low, stops below these lows, excuse me. And then we get that final run, sponsor candle, manipulative push, sell the buy. Real break of structure. So I love to see a BOS that tricks people. It ends up being a fake BOS. You get one more liquidity run, then a real BOS. And so now we're trading back down into discount, and we actually closed at my entry level. And that entry level is this 15-minute candle, this down close. I really like this candle, and this is where we ended up closing. And so again, like this one, kind of like I was talking about looking at EU, GU just opening up and dying, I'd expect kind of EG to just go ahead and moon, okay, upon market open. That would be nice. Okay, I really wouldn't expect to see this low taken out after all of this manipulation in the break of structure. Okay, we could come a little bit deeper into this wick, yes, but sometimes just based off experience, looking at how markets often close on Fridays into mitigation, and then you kind of just get a whole week, the next week of it just opens and just goes. Okay, so that would not shock me. Okay, you can look at the law of effort, how quick this move was, and how corrective in nature this move is. Okay, this 100% looks like a flag, a correction into discount for another move. You can duplicate the length of this impulsive leg for targets. So I'm looking at 8.530 as a target on this one. Okay, looks pretty clean to me. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Take some notes down and mark these levels off on your charts, and are excited and prepared for another great week in the markets. We did another 10+% week last week in VIP. We're absolutely crushing it as we transition to our own Discord server. So if you're not part of that, make sure you message us on Telegram at ArielFX Trading or on Instagram at Ariel__FX, and we'd be happy to get you involved in the community. All right. Have a great week. Safe trading.